Hey, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Now in today's video guys, I'm going to be showing you all how you guys can reduce lag in Fortnite. This video will allow you to increase your FPS, reduce your ping, fix input delay, fix lag spikes, and overall just improve your performance in Fortnite. So before I do get into this tutorial, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm getting pretty close to 8,000 subscribers, so it mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alrighty guys, so I'm pretty much going to be going over my Fortnite settings and pretty much showing you all what the best settings are to have if you want to reduce your lag. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So in your display settings, you want to make sure your window mode is on full screen and your resolution is 1920 by 1080. Make sure your VSync is off, and for your frame rate limit, you want to cap off however much FPS your game can handle. So pretty much take a look at your monitor and see what the max FPS your game can handle. And if you also want to figure this out, you can just go ahead and show your FPS and see pretty much how high your FPS goes on like unlimited, and then cap it off at that maximum amount. Yeah, it'll overall just make your game perform much better. So moving on to your graphics setting, brightness, you can have this at 100%. User interface contrast, I don't think this has much effect on your performance, but I'd recommend just putting it the same as mine. For your colorblind mode, I recommend putting it on the tritano mode, or however you say this word, but pretty much just put it on this setting and make sure your colorblind strength is at 10. And also make sure your motion blur is off. Moving down to graphics quality, make sure your temporal super resolution is on performance. This will put you on the best frame rate. For your 3D resolution, the lower you have this, the higher your frame rate is going to be. However, it's going to affect the graphics of your game. So this is something you're gonna go ahead and want to play around with, because some PCs can handle higher 3D resolution than others. But if you're on a lower end PC, you can put this around maybe like 50% or lower depending on how laggy your game is. But yeah, for me 70% seems to work perfectly fine and the game still looks pretty good. But yeah, this is something you want to go ahead and play around with. Dynamic 3D resolution, you can set this to off, and pretty much all of these remaining settings you can turn off or put on low. So shadows, make sure that's off for sure. Global illumination, make sure that's off. Reflections, I'd also recommend that this is off. And pretty much everything else in here, textures, effects, post-processing, view distance, put this on the lowest setting. Moving to advanced graphics, you can have your FPS on if you want it to be on. It really does not affect your game. And the rest of these settings you can just put on off, especially this bottom one right here. This is the most important. This pretty much is going to report your performance stats to Epic Games like pretty much every minute, I'm pretty sure. So this can definitely cause a lot of extra lag. So yeah, I highly recommend making sure this is disabled. Moving into your sound settings, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down to sound. The sound quality you can go ahead and put to low, and make sure your background audio is off. Visual sound effects you should also have off as well. However, I do like having the visual sound effects on, so I'm gonna keep it on. But yeah, turning it off can also reduce some lag. Going into your subtitle settings, you want to make sure your subtitles are off. These are not needed whatsoever and they can cause some lag, so make sure that's off. And you can pretty much just turn everything off and on low or extra small for text size, just everything at the lowest setting possible. Text color at white, text border none. Just make sure everything's on the lowest settings, because you don't really need subtitles to begin with. And finally, moving into your account and privacy settings, you can go ahead and turn player surveys off, move down to social and privacy, and you can pretty much turn all these settings off as well, except you can keep receive gifts on and party joinability. But filter mature language can be off, and text chat can also be off. And finally, in gameplay and privacy, you can also turn these first three settings off as well. And that is pretty much all the settings you can go ahead and change in your game to reduce your lag. I'll also go over a couple of tips you can do as well to reduce lag, fix input delay, and just improve your performance more. So the first tip I can give you guys is to use wired controllers and keyboards and mice. So using wired versus wireless, wired wired controllers are going to give you pretty much zero delay versus wireless, which can cause some input delay, and the slight delay can really impact your game, especially if it's like an older controller or something like that. So using wired keyboards, mice, Xbox controllers, PlayStation, having those wired controllers is going to give you the best input in Fortnite. The next tip I can give you guys is to use Ethernet. Now, if you pretty much don't know what Ethernet is, it's pretty much a direct connection to your internet. So you pretty much have a direct plug into your internet, and the internet is literally going straight into your PC. This will pretty much be giving you the best internet connection you can possibly have. And if your Wi-Fi is causing you to lose games and have a lot more lag, I highly recommend looking into Ethernet. You can definitely do more research on that. And the final tip I want to go ahead and give you guys is certain skins and pickaxes and gliders can cause more lag on your game if they're requiring more textures to be used. So using, I guess, more basic items in Fortnite is going to pretty much make your game feel smoother and just have less lag. Now, if you're a competitive player, this is something I highly recommend switching to, which is just more plain looking skins. So for example, looking in my locker at some pickaxes, if you're using like a more default looking pickaxe like this, there's no like effects coming out of it, no flames or anything like that. Now, if I select a crazier looking pickaxe, let me just find something right here, like this pickaxe, look at these flames coming out of it right here. This is going to cause more lag because it's requiring more performance to produce these textures. But anyways guys, that is going to do it for this video. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys and your performance in Fortnite has improved. If this video did help you, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Getting pretty close to 8,000 subscribers, so it means a lot to me if you guys could subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.